Hello humans, you can call me Nox, and today I wanted to talk about the way that families engage with our beloved platform and how that can unintentionally have an impact on family dynamics. I'm totally humans. This is totally bullshit, and I'm totally sorry. YouTube is a great place. You can find videos on how to jumpstart your car, how to escape an inescapable funk, or how to do absolutely anything that someone with a camera and internet access could do. However, all of the same things that make it great also make it a bit of a dark place, and to expect every single corner of this massive institution to have been policed is a bit insane. In my time lurking online, I've seen the remnant forums and comments of families who trusted their kids' interactions with strangers online because their kids aren't dumb like other kids, only to find themselves later irritated or sometimes unfortunately horrified at the content that they accessed on those sites or the conversations that they had therein. Because adults have the capacity to process and understand what we are watching and to leave when we no longer feel engaged, we tend to forget the absolute nonsense that children can enjoy as entertainment. Remember, these are the same hellions that can get their bodily fluids into the corners of furniture that their parents can't even reach. They're perfectly capable of doing the same thing online, dropping their tiny hands into corners of the internet that we as adults try not to acknowledge. Without anything better to occupy their minds, children are going to begin exploring their world in a very primitive sort of trial and error, and there's just a lot more error to be had on the internet than I think a lot of parents realize. Don't get me wrong, the quality content is quality. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of creators who are capable of not only entertaining but educating children without them catching on. This can range from toddler-level teaching to older creators who simply bring more intelligent conversations to otherwise unrelated videos. The problem that parents don't seem to realize is that kids have to be guided to this content, and this can be difficult. You have to realize not only what entertains the child, but how they learn, what they have to learn, and where those three things can be found readily together. Beyond this frustration, even quality content can algorithmically lead to the sort of videos that baffle or even outrage families. This is due in part to the high volume of time that children spend on the website, but also to the fact that they simply don't know any better. Children can struggle to distinguish the difference between Spider-Man clips and Spider-Man and Elsa. YouTube directly states that you must be at least 13 years old to use the service, but that children of all ages may use the service or YouTube Kids were available if enabled by a parent or guardian. Some people seem to think that this is YouTube's way of saying that this is a safe public space. What I need people to realize here is that this is a company's way of saying, hey, your kids can be in our space, but we're going to assume that you're watching them and that you are okay with whatever they're doing. This is not YouTube personally offering to curate any selection for any child. Now, most parents think that they know their children pretty well, and because of that, they may be willing to put a little additional trust into them because they're smart or a good kid. But that does not mean that they possess the emotional maturity required to handle such an accessible social media platform or any social media platform on their own. Taking the whole world into your hands is an insurmountable responsibility. A lot of adults can't handle having a civilized discussion online. Maybe some kids can, but should we risk it by massively opening them up to a world that can see them back? Again, you can mitigate a lot of this risk by keeping a close eye on them and what they're doing. Privacy is important, especially as your children grow older, but that's why it's imperative to set healthy boundaries before you have to start to cross them. Try to encourage them to open up to you by sharing in that excitement. Even if you have to fake it, you're being more genuine than most YouTubers. If you don't like some of the content that they're watching, it can be easy to shut that interest down post-haste. Sometimes it's absolutely necessary. However, every once in a while, it isn't hurtful to let the kids watch something a little mind-numbing. Nobody wants to be consciously learning all the time, but kids have to learn everything. When it comes down to it, knowing the minute differences between these people will let you know how and when to encourage what kinds of content. Growing up and coming to terms with the world can be exhausting. Some time to sit down with a snack and to see the world from different perspectives can help not only build periods of physical relaxation and quiet time, but also empathy and curiosity. The content that markets itself largely for financial gain will not have the same passion to focus on these healthy habits. Instead, they're going to grind down on popular video game characters, movie worlds, or the infamous word challenge. They animate loud, flashy, and sometimes just gross behaviors because kids will watch them of their own accord. Some of the less informative content is readily accessible by children because it's created by people who understand the fascinations both of the algorithm and of their younger-minded audiences. These people may mirror the passionate and successful trends of other creators, but they do not use this information for anything but their own personal gain. These videos are intentionally similar in keyword and thumbnail to those of which you may approve. Unfortunately, this makes it easy for kids to keep clicking through whichever words or shapes they find the most appealing. There is some reprieve for parents in that people who build their brands on their personality are not likely to take a sudden sharp turn. Real children's channels like Ryan's World will probably continue to explore the world through a mildly scientific, albeit childish lens, while garbage animation is probably going to still be garbage animation. Of course, there are more than just child creators to sift through. Especially for the parents of older children, you may differ with some of your approved creators on some opinions. It is infinitely healthier to use this as an opportunity to open up a dialogue about the existence of other perspectives than it is to just let them dive unsupervised into the internet. All of that is just on the subject of choosing quality entertainment and aside from the variety of people chatting online. Other YouTubers have done excellent videos on just how quickly a young person can be preyed upon in plain sight. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's a fairly popular documentary along those same lines. When exploring any corner of the internet, the most dangerous thing that you can run into is a nefarious individual posing as a helpful, relatable soul or just a longtime fan of the subject. These people, again, are trying to learn and exploit something about your child, but not everyone just wants some watch time and click-through. At every level, YouTube is made up of people, by people, for people. Letting your child wander the site unsupervised is to let them wander a foreign city while you take a break from all technology. Sure, one or two might come out of it perfectly fine, but it's absolutely no way to encourage the behaviors that you want to see. Instead, take your child by the hand, warn them of the dangers of the city, but explore its wonders together, even if that just means you're looking up a 5,000th video of the Eiffel Tower this week because that's what your kids are into right now. The Eiffel Tower is a feat, it's safe, and it's a narrative that you can share together in your home without input from the rest of the world regarding what's safe to do because everyone else is doing it. At the end of a hard day, it's easy to turn on the TV screen, keep the house quiet, and think that that's enough. But so many families fall apart or even throw violent disputes over the sorts of behaviors encouraged by this disengaged parenting style. It can be frustrating to feel like the internet knows your kids better than you do. But if you do have kids, take an interest in their interests. Don't get frustrated that they're not working out as smaller versions of you. Create an environment that'll nurture a different, healthy adult in the future because at the very least, no matter what you do, they're going to become an adult. Anyway, thank you humans for watching. It's getting dark out, and I've been ranting for a long time, so today I want you to tell your kids you love them. Here's a Markiplier video you can watch together. I'm gonna go take a sad nap. Peace.